Tomatoes should not be a default topping on sandwiches or any food. Tomatoes are disgusting. Sure, I can give a little bit of a slide to ketchup and marinara sauce, to an extent. The chunks of tomatoes in the sauce is gross. The fact that they are a default on sandwiches is stupid. Everyone I know asks for no tomatoes or is disappointed if there are tomatoes on their food and they didn't realize it. But the fact that they are a default sandwich option shows me that either people are actually into it or the world just doesn't want to accept that it's gross. A lot of people get ketchup on burgers already, so why do you need tomato slices? For the slippery wet texture? No thanks. Tomatoes even make their way into sandwiches that have no business having tomatoes in it. It's like the restaurant is like, yeah, let's add more, throw on a tomato. No rhyme or reason. The sandwich is delicious without that. Maybe I'm missing something. But I truly don't believe that I am. Tomatoes can go away and the food world would be better for it. I only recently started to accept ketchup for just burgers, but honestly that can go too if it means no more tomatoes involved ever again. Edit. Fixed a typo. Big tobacco, big oil, big pharma, and big tomato. You have no choice against their power. Enjoy your lovely sliced tomato. Bacon, cheese and tomato on a croissant, great snackin'. Compared ketchup with tomatoes, I am out. Emo tomatoes and ketchup taste nothing the same, so that's why I like both on my sandwiches, and you can just ask places to hold the tomatoes. Tomato, I'll take the ones you don't want. Tomatoes are literally the best thing to exist in this world. For a few months I ate something with tomatoes every day. Fuck you. You'll get an upvote. Ketchup is high fructose corn syrup and vinegar with tomato concentrate for color. I eat tomatoes like apples. Do not upvote picky eaters. Do not encourage picky eaters. Make picky eaters go into hiding and stop ruining the pizza party for the adults. I also highly dislike tomatoes. I will pick them off of everything and struggle not feeling sick when I miss one. I like when a deli has a paper you mark everything you want on it rather than just default sandwiches. I am also not a fan of tomatoes, but I love me some salsa. If I had a dime for every sandwich I ordered clearly saying, no tomato, that came with those slimy disgusting things on it. My experience with tomatoes as a North American are that they are mostly awful here. Mealy, bland to flavorless and completely overlooked. I've had a handful of decent tomatoes at restaurants here, but the grocery store supply is nearly all trash. In southern Europe though they're sweet, complex, firm and delightful. I had some in a tomato salad in Spain that were so incredible we went back to the restaurant just to eat them again the next day. Part of it is mass farming techniques, shipping logistics. Also just the amount of raw sun they get here. I'm a tiny minority who doesn't like X in my food, therefore X should not be in food by default. Makes sense. Here is your sandwich that pleases everyone, extends empty hand. Tomatoes aren't normally a default though. Like if you go somewhere and get a cheeseburger, 9/10 times it's burger, cheese, bun, and condiments. If you get like the deluxe bacon burger or something, then it gets tomatoes. Everyone I know asks for no tomatoes. Sure, Jan. If this is a valid opinion, then all other toppings that are common shouldn't be a default. No ketchup, mayo, mustard, barbecue unless you ask. I hate ketchup and mayo. Both are yuck. No lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle. Pickles are so gross and leave a pickle taste. I have an aunt who says she hates tomatoes. There's a family story that when she was young her boyfriend invited her home for dinner and his mom made her spaghetti with red cheese sauce. She loved it. Turns out the boyfriend's mom just straight up lied to her. It was marinara sauce made with tomatoes. Her hate of tomatoes is all in her head, and so is yours. I hate tomatoes, and even I will admit that ketchup is nothing like tomatoes. It's like saying Worcestershire sauce is a substitute for onions or soy sauce is a substitute for tofu. What kind of fucking tomatoes do you have in America that are wet and slippery? Tomatoes are disgusting. I'm with Op. Gosh, how I hate tomato. I've tried so had to like it. Every few months I'll try to eat some in a salad or sandwich. Instant gag. Cannot do it. Been this way since childhood. All my friends know if we go out to eat and there's tomato, that's going to go from my plate to theirs.